Welcome to the Level Up Leadership Show. My name is Mike Malnick, and this is episode 5. If this is your first time watching, we have a playlist on our YouTube channel of all the episodes that you can go and watch, or you can head on over to the Facebook page, our Facebook page, and you can watch the episodes over there as well. Today, we're going to be talking about how to build great teams. But first, before you want to know how to build a great team, you need to believe in building teams. Because if you don't believe in building teams, then you won't even care about building great teams. So before we jump in, I want to talk a little bit about why we build teams. And from just a very practical standpoint, the vast majority of people that are looking for jobs, that are in the workforce today, they want to work within a team. And there's a few different reasons for that. It builds connection, it has the ability to take pressure off, stress off, and just this idea of working together with a group of people towards a common goal. And so, I really believe that teams are really a way to get so much more done than individual employees and individual accolades, and there's just so much strength. There literally is strength in numbers. And if you've come from an era where you have only worked independently and you've only ever worked on your own and you reported to a manager and you never worked within a team, I want to encourage you, if you are a manager or a supervisor, begin to create a team-like atmosphere. And you can do that. You can begin to create this team atmosphere, and it really helps people kind of build relationships with one another, to kind of bind together, and to really begin, you will really begin to see a lot accomplished. Now, you do need to know on the front end, it's a lot of work. To build teams and successful teams, it takes a lot of work on the front end. But the payoff on the back end is huge. It's a little bit messy, okay, on the front end, and it's going to definitely take some strategic steps and some time and effort on your part as a team leader, and then on the part of the team members, those people that you're overseeing, to really begin to shift from these individuals that are doing work to creating a team. And I believe that once you step into that team and you begin building and creating, and I'm going to give you some pointers on how to lead a team, and you will not regret it. I promise. You will love if you stick with it, you'll love where you end up on the other side. So we're going to talk about how to build great teams, but first, before the first 3 points that I'm going to be talking about is really going to be about you and as the leader or the organization, because you can't build teams without these 3 things in place first. So the first point is to have a clear vision. Okay, you need to have a clear vision, something that is a compelling reason that someone should work for you, someone should want to work for you. Okay, now for all the baby boomers or older that are listening, okay, this might be hard for you to understand and kind of wrap your head around, but people don't just work for a paycheck anymore. Okay, baby boomers and older, you work for a paycheck, you went in, you clocked out, you worked hard, and that was enough. That's not the world that we live in anymore. Okay, people want to work towards a vision, a goal, something big, something that they couldn't do necessarily on their own. Now, I'm not saying you have to cure cancer, okay, but people want to know what they are working towards. And here are a few vision or mission statements that I grabbed online from a couple of large companies that you're going to know. GE, okay, so this is the vision statement for GE. It says this: to become the world's premier digital industrial company, transforming industry with software-defined machines and solutions that are connected, responsive, and predictive. I mean, you go work for GE, this is what it's going to look like. This is our goal. This is what we're striving for. Here's one from Apple. Apple's is this, to bring the best user experience to its customers through its innovative hardware, software, and services. So right away, you know the vision that you want to be innovative, you want to have a great customer experience, you want to have the best software, hardware. You know this is, when you're working toward, you work at Apple, you know, hey, services, we want to be the best at services. So when someone comes into the Apple store, I know my job, I might be checking people in at the front end, or I could be a software engineer, at Apple headquarters. Everyone knows the mission and what they're working towards. JP Morgan Chase says this is their mission statement: to be the best financial services company in the world. There's no guesswork. There's no, hey, I wonder what they want to do. I wonder, they're just, hey, I have a checking account, I have a business account, loans, whatnot. You can invest in the market through it. You know, if you go work for Chase Bank, they want to be the best financial service company in the world. Right now, JP Morgan Chase is the largest financial institution in the United States. And I believe that when you have a compelling vision, something to rally the troops behind, that, hey, this is what we're doing, this is where we're going, this is who we want to be. It's important for those team members, for your employees to understand what the goal is. Because they need a goal, they need a vision, something that, hey, this is where we're going, this is where we're heading, this is what we want to do, this is what we want to accomplish. And man, it makes all the difference in the world. People will jump on, the people that are on board understand. And you know what? Everyone might not be the right fit for your company or your organization. And that's okay. But you need to have a compelling vision if you want to build great teams. Number 2, if you want to build great teams, you as the leader need to be a secure leader. This is huge. This is so important that you have to be secure, because here's the thing. Insecure leaders implode. They are disastrous team leaders. Awful. If you are an insecure leader and someone puts you in charge of a team, it's going to be a nightmare. I mean, because insecure leaders are constantly threatened by the success of others. And if you're threatened by the success of others, then you're going to be worried about, these employees or team members. You're not going to be really doing everything that you can to help them grow, to help them succeed, because what if they get the spotlight and you don't? Insecure leaders are the ones that always want the spotlight, that want to make sure they're the one that always get the attention and the credit. They're always worried about, will the boss overlook me and see a team member who's shining bright? Insecure leaders, they're just bad leaders. And I hope and pray, if that is you, that you recognize it inside of yourself and begin to take steps to change. Because nobody wants to work for an insecure leader. Maybe you work for an insecure leader and you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, yes, that's my boss, that's my manager, that's, fill in the blank. And you have to work for an insecure leader. It is very, very difficult, okay? Because they want all the credit. They keep people down. Okay, insecure leaders, they don't have the ability really to build great teams, because everything that a great team leader is, it has to come from a secure place. Okay, they may lead a team, but it's going to be a dysfunctional team at best, explosive and a hostile environment at worst. A secure leader knows the value of reproducing themselves. This is huge. See, too many leaders, I think, are threatened by those team members that they're leading. And instead of understanding how valuable a leader is who can train up other leaders, instead they want to hire a leader who not only can just lead people, but who can train and build. All right? It's really important that you become secure in yourself. Because you know what? When I want to hire leaders who can not just lead people, okay, but they can reproduce themselves in other leaders. Strong leaders who can lead people are great, okay? Strong leaders, you can lead someone, that's great. Leaders who can reproduce themselves are irreplaceable. They're so much more valuable, and there's so many people that just don't see that. they think I need to keep people down, and I just need to be a great leader. I don't want them to be as good as a leader or better than me. They're gonna succeed, climb up the corporate ladder faster than me, and it's just all about their insecurities. All right? So strong leaders, okay, who can lead people are great, but leaders who can reproduce themselves are irreplaceable. But to reproduce yourself, you need to be a secure leader and not threatened by the success of others. Number 3 is you cannot be a micromanager. All right? You cannot build great teams and be the kind of leader who has his hands in everything or her hands in everything. Okay? There's going to be mistakes when when you delegate and when you let people go and that's all right. You need to teach them. But here's the thing, great leaders, they don't want to be micromanaged. So if you continue to micromanage great leaders, they're going to leave. Leaders will never turn into great leaders if they're always being micromanaged. Building great teams, it's hard and it's messy. You need to give team members enough room to grow. Maybe they fail. Probably going to be some times they're going to fail. But not fail in an area that costs you too much. So you need to create an environment, okay, that you can give team members enough room to grow, enough room to kind of maybe make some mistakes where it's a safe place. It's not going to cost you too much. But when they do make a mistake, they can learn from. And in their short-term failure will help them grow as a leader, which will benefit your long-term success. If you micromanage teams, they won't grow. I mean, who wants to work in a place where you cannot grow? People want to grow. They're hungry to grow in leadership and their leadership abilities like never before. And this is only going to help you as that manager, supervisor, business owner. It's only going to help you. See, if you want to build great teams, you need to first take a long, hard look at you. And that's tough. That's hard. We want to look inside of ourselves and find those insecurities, get rid of them, okay? And have that compelling vision for people to jump on top of or jump on board with and to run with, all right? And don't micromanage your teams. Being a secure leader leads into number 4, which is hiring leaders, not followers. Whenever possible, you want to hire leaders. People who either have a proven track record of leading, okay, or someone you believe has the ability to be a great leader. And this is really important to do your homework when you're in the hiring process. Following up with on resumes and contacts and checking them out, seeing their history and what they've. You need to do your due diligence as a leader. Check those references. Call to see how they are as leaders and what they've done, what they've accomplished, what they've created. It's not always possible, okay, but it will only strengthen your organization when you hire leaders. Hiring strong leaders, it sounds good on paper, but strong leaders are harder to lead. There's no question. Strong leaders are harder to lead because they question things, okay? And this isn't out of disrespect. It's out of a curiosity of them wanting to be better, them understanding your organization and your mission and where you're going and how you want to get there. So they question things along the way, and baby boomers and older, they take that sometimes as a sign of disrespect. And, do you not think I know what I'm doing? Do you not agree with my decision? And you know what? They might not. But you need people in your life that are going to question your decisions and not just have a bunch of yes men and women around you. Believe me, I know it sounds really good to talk about, but it's not that much fun all the time when you're sitting in a staff meeting and you have your leaders questioning the things that that you want to do. And I've had it. I've had, people on my staff and teams that, have questioned, hey, did you think about this? Did you think about this? And I kind of get, I can get insecure about things. I can be like, oh, do they not think I know what I'm doing? Do they think this? And so there's times where I even find myself like, oh, what if about this? And I like, no, they're questioning, and I need good, strong people around me so that I can make the best decision possible. Because they genuinely want to do things in the best way. So great leaders, they want more information on why. They may challenge your ideas, but don't take it personally. If you hire followers, they will probably do everything you say without question. They will do their job, and if you hire well, they will do their job well. But chances are they will never become anything more or do any more. So what happens when your company has a management position to fill and a management position open, but all that you've hired are followers? So none of them have the ability to step into a higher role and lead. So what you have to do then is you have to go outside of your company or organization and hire a manager, supervisor, whatever it is that needs filled. But if you hire leaders, you can promote from within. And this is always the best possible way to hire. It's not always possible every time, but it is the best way to move an organization forward and to keep it strong, because it does a few things. One, that person that you promoted, okay, they already know your DNA of the company, okay, they're already loyal to you and to your company, and you can just move them into a different position, and there's so much work that you don't have to do with hiring from within. And then second, it lets people know that, hey, there is room to grow within this organization. I don't have to leave this company to go to a management position. I don't have to leave this company to get a pay raise and to go somewhere else. I can be promoted from within. And when you promote from within, it energizes people because they know they could get that next promotion. If you're always going outside of the company to hire, especially management positions, supervisor, executive roles, if you're always going outside, what that says to the people in your company is, really there's no place to grow here. You can do that job and that well, but nothing more. And that is a really bad message to send your employees, because they're like, what am I working for? Most people want to work towards something. Everybody wants to at some point make more money. Everybody at some point, for the most part, wants an elevated position. And if they know I'm never going to get it in this company, it can be really deflating. Okay, so it is really best to hire from within, but that goes all the way back to hiring leaders and not followers. When you hire leaders, it's only going to strengthen your company or your organization. All right, number 5, chemistry over competency. Okay, within reason. This is huge for me. Okay, we spend a lot of time at our jobs, right? Think about it. You are at your job from anywhere from 8 to 10 hours a day. You come home and you see your kids, depending on their age, 3 to 5 hours before they go to bed. So, let's be honest, your work days, carries over into your home. You have a great day at work, it carries over into your home. You have a bad day at work, it carries over. You spend a majority of your time at work, especially the weekdays, okay? And when you spend so much time of it at your work, why would you want to, just as a normal person going in, and I'm not talking about spending crazy amount of hours, that's just normal hours, just 40 hours a week, 8 to 10 hours a day. The last thing you want to do is come to the office and work with someone that you can't stand. The last thing you want to do is come to work and someone that drives you crazy, that you don't have any common interests with. See, you can teach people a lot of different things. You can teach people how to scan items, answer phones, track sales, and the list goes on and on and on. What you can't teach is chemistry. You got it or you don't. Chemistry will not only make your work life more enjoyable when you come to the office, but it actually will increase productivity and revenue. See, teams that have chemistry built into them, they work better together. They're less threatened. Team members are less threatened by each other of their successes or their failures. They give the benefit of the doubt when mistakes are made, and mistakes are going to be made, right? It's inevitable. Mistakes are going to be made, but when you have good chemistry within a team, you give that person the benefit of the doubt just because of the relationship that you have with them. Teams with chemistry, they just excel and are more productive. Now, I'm not saying you can completely sacrifice competency, all right? You can't hire someone that you like with no skills whatsoever. You can't do that. If you're hiring an electrician, they need to know what they're doing, okay? But if you're hiring between two electricians, two people who have, one is, a lot more skilled and the other one's not quite, but you have more chemistry, I will always err on the side of chemistry. I can teach them to be better at something, but to have that chemistry, it's really, really difficult, but it makes a huge difference in your workplace and within your teams. Number 6, delegate responsibility. You can delegate tasks or responsibility. Now, chances are at some point you're gonna have to delegate tasks. You're gonna have to delegate some mundane tasks that need to be done, and everybody in your job, I don't care if you have your dream job or not, there's all things that we have to do that we don't necessarily like to do. That's just part of life and work. But if you only delegate mindless tasks that need to be done, you will deflate your team. Something I learned early on is when I delegate tasks, things get done. When I delegate responsibility, the organization moves forward. Okay? People want to feel valued and know that they are contributing to the mission. If all they ever did was make copies or send emails on your behalf, you're going to either lose them physically and they're going to quit and leave, or mentally, and they're just going to check out. They come in and make their copies, send the emails, and they're just going to check out. And I really don't know which one is worse. I don't know if it's worse that they check out mentally or physically. But that's what's going to happen if all that you delegate is just mundane, no-brain tasks. Okay? And that's why I said, hey, building great teams, it's hard and it's messy. Because what happens is when you delegate responsibility, there's bound to be mistakes to be made and messes. It's going to happen. But you use the mistakes and you use the mess to train and teach your leaders. And this will help them grow, so next time they'll be better. And eventually, you will get to a spot where your team members are able to take huge projects off of your plate and even make decisions on your behalf. I was able to train leaders underneath me, and in that first 3 to 6 months, it takes a lot of extra work. It actually takes more work and more time to train leaders and to delegate responsibility, because I have to train them properly and what needs to happen and where things need to go. But man, after 6, 7, 8 months, they are taking stuff off of your plate. And like about a year, man, they will be able to make decisions for you on your behalf. They won't be coming and bothering you. They'll just be able to go, oh, yeah, this is what the boss wants. Yep, this is what my manager, I know this is the way they want it. I don't even have to ask them. I can just go, and your time will be freed up so that you can do what only you can do. John Maxwell says this: if someone can do what you are doing at 80%, then delegate it. Think about that, because that's the worry sometimes. Managers, supervisors, business owners, like, well, if I hand it off, they're not going to do it as good as I do it. Absolutely. They won't, right off the bat. But if they can do it 80% of what you do it, delegate it. Because there are things that you have to do that they can't. And if you're delegating things that they can do 80%, give it to them. And that's going to give you the time to spend on things that nobody else can do but you as the manager or business owner. Number 7, meet often. Building great teams means spending time together. Once a month is just not good enough, not enough time to meet with your teams. You need to know what your team is, their personalities. You need to know who they are, and you only get to know that by spending time with them. Successful teams, they know their leaders and they know them well. Successful team leaders, they know their teams, know who they are, and they know them well. They know what they want done, right? And how they want it done. This takes time to develop. We just talked about chemistry. You need chemistry not just between the team leader and the team member, but you need chemistry within the team. And meeting regularly will build that chemistry. It helps you keep tabs on how projects are going, okay? And if the ship gets off course, okay, it's gonna get off course a little bit. At some point along the way, someone's gonna make a bad decision, make a bad move, make a mistake, okay? And if you're only meeting once a month, man, that ship has a long way to go get off track. But if you meet weekly, then you can catch it much quicker and much faster and then redirect it and course correct. Okay? Then take that time to meet to, another opportunity to inspire your team, to let them know where you're going and what you're doing. Get feedback from your team. This is important. You need to get feedback from your team, what's working. I'm the lead pastor of a church, and we would meet, our staff meets every Monday, and we go over what happened Sunday, what went well, what didn't, what did we miss, what happened, how can we make things better, how did things in kids ministry go, how did things at our cafe go, how did things here go, and we evaluate, and I get feedback from my team. Hey, this was great, this wasn't, we missed it here, we got to do better here. Feedback is huge. All right, and then this also gives you an opportunity for any correction with team members. Hey, I seen this, we need to course correct, and just meeting regularly is only gonna help you build great teams. Number 8, work hard, play hard. All right, great teams know how to work hard. That starts with you as the leader. You have to model what you expect from your teams. Most will never work as hard as you. Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, if you're working at an 8, your teams will work at a 6 or 7. So if you want your teams working at an 8 or 9, you need to be working at a 10. Now, don't think that working at a 10 means that you have to work 16-hour days. Too often, we only use one metric to measure if someone works hard, and that's the hours they put in. And this just isn't the case all the time. Sometimes it is, but it's not the case all the time. Another metric is the quality of their work. You might have 16 hours at the office, but you took an hour and a half lunch, 5 30-minute breaks, and talked to your coworkers every 30 minutes. That is not working hard. You just spent a whole lot of time and money at the office, okay? You can work hard and only be at the office 8 hours or whatever that time slot is in your company. Now, sometimes when a deadline is approaching, it may require you to put in some extra hours, but not all the time. That's not the only metric that we need to use. The other part of this is to play hard. Okay, play hard. Your teams will be far more productive when you give them generous vacation packages, extra time off during slow times. If you have a slow time, then you need to, if you don't have slow times, you need to build them into your calendar. People need a break. If there's no light at the end of the tunnel, okay, a time to recharge the battery, you will burn them out. Their families will suffer. Eventually, your organization is going to suffer. Do not cheap out on vacation time, all right? Have relaxed hours during specified times. This will go a long way. Let your team members know that you care about them and their well-being, not just getting the most bang for your buck. So building great teams, it takes hard work, strategic steps. Having a great team is not going to happen on accident. Great teams will put your organization on another level, and that's what you want. You want to go to that next level in your leadership, and you want to take your organization or company or business to that next level. So don't forget, go ahead, make sure to subscribe to our channel, like us on Facebook. Have a great week.